Today we're going to be carving. And as always, safety is going to be important. So I have slippers on because it's freezing down here. I also have some gloves that have served me very well in keeping my hands in one piece. But you're going to need gloves for more than just keeping your hands safe if your knife slips. You're also going to need it because when working with your smaller knives, like this one, imagine having your thumb right there for an hour. That's going to get sore pretty quick. Not too terribly bad if it weren't that size, because that thing's pretty rounded. Something like this thing, which is going to be used for most of the hard labor, it's decent, but it's still going to get real sore after an hour. Then, of course, we'll obviously have the knives. Then, something you should always have on hand, snacks. I find these to be really good project snacks. Also, I really recommend getting one of these. Small, lightweight, and I've been using this thing for nearly a year and I don't think I've sharpened it yet. And of course, you're going to need your wood. You're going to want to determine what kind of wood you're going to use per thing. My personal preference is pine, which you can see a stick of right here, or driftwood, which there's a chunk right there too. Of course, those may not fit for everything. Driftwood is good because it cuts through just like butter. Or at the very least, it's very easy to go through. You see that? Of course, this is definitely when you need to be wearing gloves. Also, make sure your knives are as sharp as is reasonable. Here is a stick of vine, because one of the things we're going to be making today is a wand. So if one of you, see, not particularly easy to cut, but nice once cut. If any of you guys want to make a accurate wand from a certain franchise I'm not sure I'm allowed to discuss, then you're probably going to want that. I wouldn't get your hopes up on getting that particular wand, that particular wood though, because that's a piece of vine I collected back when I lived in Texas. So, afraid it's unlikely you're going to be able to get that. Here is a stick of unknown wood, which is going to be what we're making our wand out of today. Of course, you can use other things, but I prefer, if you're making a wand, to get a natural piece of wood. I also have a juniper root lying around somewhere. You'll see that later on. Root is also very good because, like driftwood, it cuts really easy, but only when it's fresh and when it's wet. When it's dry, it turns ridiculously hard. Oh, here's the juniper. Here's a section of what I presume to be juniper root. Please correct me if I'm wrong. But then, that's about all you need, except for furry little companions, which I will proceed to get if I can find them. It does appear as though my furry little companions do not want to cooperate today. But yes, having little fuzzballs is recommended. You can also use old discarded pieces of construction lumber. This is a piece of scrap wood I found lying around the house. We'll probably be dealing with this later. But that's about all for now. On to the time lapse of the beginning of the wand. we're on to the second step. Here's what this looks like after that remarkably short time lapse. And that was just getting the basic parks. That's why it looks like somebody took an axe to this thing. And yes, this is indeed the next day. But this project shouldn't take that long. It ought to take 2 hours max, if that's all that you are doing. If you're just doing the basic stuff. And today we're going to be going like this, going around, smoothing everything out. And be careful not to take off too much wood. You can always take off wood later, but you can't so much put it back on. So do this, take off little slivers. And the reason that this is being filmed the next day is because I have better things to do and schoolwork. Now, you continue doing this, and we'll on to another time lapse. Probably gonna get sick of these. Alrighty, we have what is basically the finished product. You can leave it here if you want and chop off this end here, which came about because I had to break the stick in order to get this thing done. Well, on time. So, here's where you can end it. You got a perfectly functional wand. Or whatever it is you're using this for. Beyond this point, we are going to be working on some designs. You may or may not be able to see, but I've already got traced out a swirl pattern that runs around the blade like this. Or, not the blade, the wand. Up here, I'm going to try to be making those dragon heads you see on the end of Viking ships, anywhere you see Viking ships. Down here, I might make a depressed handle, or we'll just leave it like this. For a depressed handle, in case I don't get to it, all you're doing is taking out a section right here where your hand would be. So if you always hold it like this, then you'll just make out a depression here and here. With the area for your thumb here, maybe you put a shiny stone on it. I may end up getting to put a stone on the end of here. Probably quartz, because I like that. Oh, there you go. Oh, you can use things that aren't actually meant for carving. This is an old, I'm not sure what, but I stole it out of a nail cleaning kit, so. Or you can use this, like I have, to trace out the lines in the wood, or to get fine little details, as you can see. Probably shouldn't be doing, but, I know it's there. Another thing that I'm going to be doing during this time lapse is creating little chips. You can see I've made one here. So all you do, go like this, onto the pre-established line. Or if you don't have a pre-established line, as I'll show in this little chunk of heartwood, you vertically go like that, you push. This whole process is going to be brutal on your nails, so, and then you cut like this, and you got a nice little chip taken out. That's all.